Well, Razorback fans, we got to talk some basketball and some baseball on a shortened edition of today's Locked On Razorbacks podcast. Let's go ahead and jump into it.
You are Locked On Razorbacks, your daily podcast on the Arkansas Razorbacks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome into the Locked On Razorbacks podcast. I am your host, John Neighbors. I'm also the host of Out of Bounds. You can catch every weekday afternoon from 1 to 4 on 103.7 The Buzz and 103.7thebuzz.com. This episode is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sportsbook partner of Locked On. Make every moment more by visiting FanDuel.com/LockedOn today to get started. Hope everybody's having a wonderful game day. As I know, it's been a little unorthodox, but with timing and scheduling and everything, it's been tough to really dive into some of the news that's been going on with Razorback sports, and I haven't even had a chance to talk Razorback basketball. So we're gonna do what we can. We're gonna do what we can to make sure that is going to be making it work in the best of our ability. But still, I think it's really fun to be able to talk about all of these different sporting events going on right now, and especially with basketball. And so I want to give my reactions to that because obviously there's just been a lot happening over the past few days that's trying to encompass it. And basically what it comes down to is this, is you had three significant storylines for the basketball team transpire. You had the first one being Ron Holland. Ron Holland did not come to the University of Arkansas. He decided to go and take his talents to the G League Ignite. When I had a lot of people giving me a hard time for this because you're like, oh, man, you've been wrong about this everywhere. I was like, and I think that there were people that were involved in the program that were under the understanding that he was coming to Arkansas. Because that's the thing is like on my shows and on my podcasts and everything, I usually, in fact, I would say not even usually, I always, well, when I say things, like I have a good reason to. I don't like doing things and saying things just to have it get a reaction, or if I at least don't have at least a little bit of an indication of some truth behind it. So, that's one of those things to where it just didn't go according to plan. And it's, unfortunate because he's a great player and he would have been awesome on Arkansas. But, at the end of the day, you got to move on. And so it's unfortunate, but, they felt like they had a great chance on. But I guess it's like if you want silver linings in the whole thing, I mean, at least he's not going to Texas or like Kentucky or, somewhere like that. So he's going to G League and that's that. So you're just going to have to move on from it. And, it's disappointing from that regard. But in the positive light, you did get Devo Davis back, which was huge. I mean, I was someone who was really back and forth on whether or not Devo was going to come back. For a while there, I felt like Devo was not going to be returning to Arkansas. Just didn't give the vibes of it. There was just too much smoke behind it of him, wanting to move on with his career and everything, which is fine. I mean, that's what players want to do when they get to a certain age, especially when they start getting up there in years. And with Devo, it was just like he was, he wanted to take his talents to that next level. But over time, and as we got closer to the deadline, it started getting the feeling that he was actually good to go and he was going to stay at Arkansas. Didn't get an invite to the combine, didn't get an invite to really any particular workouts. I think he had maybe a workout with the Bucks, but that was it. And at the end of the day, he decided, you know what, I'm going to come back to Arkansas. And he did so in really fun and convincing fashion that got everybody excited, and rightfully so, because he's a great player. He's a great player. He's a great leader. And I think that he's somebody that Arkansas is going to feel, or at least Arkansas fans are really happy that he's coming back. I'm happy that he's coming back. I think that the leadership that he has and knowing what Eric Musselman asks of them and of him and of the team, and he's going to be great for that role. And each and every year he's gotten better since being in Arkansas. So I don't see any reason why he won't be better even next year. So huge news for Arkansas to get him back. But Jordan Walsh was the other one that ended up leaving and going to staying in the NBA draft process, which, it doesn't surprise me because he really had a nice people saying that, hey, this guy's got a lot of upside. He couldn't end up being really good. And, he's got a lot of great things going for him as well. Like it was all coming together for him at the right time. And you got to wish him nothing but the best. Like that's kind of at least where I'm at with him. Would have been nice to see one more year of development, especially as he came on as of late there in the very end. But yeah, I thought that it was good. But the only thing about it though is I didn't really didn't really care for the comments that he made to ESPN.com. Now, it seems like Arkansas was a great place that he enjoyed, that he loved. He loved the fans and everything like that. And this was according to ESPN. Jordan Walsh even said this was a super hard decision with Arkansas being home for me, but ultimately I chose my dream. I'm betting on myself and taking the chance that I can grind it out and produce on a level I should be, being able to know what the process will look like. I can come out successfully. So that's what he said, but that's not like, it's just a very generic, hey, I'm going to take the next number, which I don't have a problem with that. But what it kind of went into was when he said this: once I got out of Arkansas, I'm now in a position where I don't have handcuffs on me. I'm able to shoot and make plays for people. I have that flexibility to show that I can do all those things. I was stuck in a role, but now they'll see the real Jordan. That was just a small glimpse of me at the combine. And I hear that and I'm like, okay, I can understand that the way that Musselman runs his team and everything, guys do have roles, but I feel like the roles are defined by the players. It's not like Musselman brings him in. It's like, okay, Jordan, you are going to be, it's like before you can get to games, you're going to be a bench player and you're going to play great defense and you're not going to shoot the ball very well because, this is the role you're playing. The role is defined by the players. Ricky Council, when he's coming into Arkansas, he was the sixth man of the year. And a lot of people, myself included, thought he would be off the because they just had so much talent and everything. And then look what he turned into. That wasn't a role that was given to him by Eric Musselman. He defined his own role because of how he played on the court, and that's how he got it. And so when I hear that from Jordan Walsh, it was a little disappointing because I'm like, I never got the vibe you had handcuffs on you, my man. Like, you played a lot. You played in 36 games. You averaged over 25 minutes a game. You shot 28% from three-point land. What handcuff did you have on you? You had 4 rebounds a game, but you also committed over 3 personal fouls a game. Like, I don't know. I just didn't ever get the feeling or the vibe that there was some sort of handcuffs on Jordan Walsh. It was more just like, you're the one that defines that. I don't think Muss was saying, don't shoot threes, Jordan, at the very beginning of the year. He may have done it after time because it was like, you're not hitting threes, so don't shoot as many. Don't try to shoot as many. But, again, maybe I'm looking too much into it. Maybe it's not out to be, but I was just a little bit disappointed by that because I'm like, man, I really liked the Jordan Walsh player that he was, and I loved him as a person and interviewing him and everything. And who knows, maybe that comment is just taken out of context. Maybe it was something that needed a little bit more descriptions on. But anyways, I just really hope that wasn't how he felt at Arkansas because I just didn't get that vibe at all. But either way, Arkansas is left open now with the scholarship, and they got to figure out what they're going to do. And, here's the thing, folks. It's like people with the Ron Holland situation that happened, and then some other things too, people were really disappointed. They were like, there was a lot of people that was like mad and frustrated and everything. And you know what? I can understand being disappointed because I was disappointed. Ron Holland would have been awesome to have on the team. But even without Ron Holland, folks, you have a top 15 team right now. This is still a top 15 team. You have stupid talent. Guys like Jeff Goodman, even after the news about Walsh and Holland, he has Arkansas as his number 12 team in the country heading into this season. Like, it's not on Ron Holland. You still have a dadgum good team. And who knows, if you get another big addition out of the transfer portal with the scholarship, maybe it really goes well for you. Maybe you really get some big things going for you. So I don't know. The team's going to be fine. This Razorback basketball team's going to be fine. And I think that's just what they have right now is going to be good enough to be a great team. I'd like to see them. People are saying they want a big man. I don't really know if I want a big man. I would like to have some, if it was somebody like Ron Holland, that 6'7", 6'8", kind of combo. Yeah, I'd like that. But no, I want scoring. I want shooters. Like, I want as many shooters as possible. Give me all the 3-point shooters you can. Give me all the guys that are just automatic from the free throw line. Just give me one of those guys. I'll take one of those guys over a big man any day of the week right now. But I guess we'll have to wait and see how it plays out. Before we get into a little baseball news, got to tell you, folks, make a fast break over to FanDuel during the NBA playoffs because right now new customers can get the new no sweat first bet up to $2,000, $2,500. Even a better deal. That's $2,500 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. And there's no better place to bet on all the playoff action when it comes to the NBA than America's #1 sportsbook. So visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and get a no-sweat first bet up to $2,500. That's FanDuel.com/lockedon. FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA.
You are Locked On Razorbacks, your daily podcast on the Arkansas Razorbacks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, so final segment here on the Locked On Razorbacks podcast. Baseball is upon us. The regional starts today. In fact, it's just going to be here in a few hours, depending on, I guess, at the time of the recording of this podcast. But it was really good to hear from Dave Van Horn and some of the players, and then, of course, some of the matchups and some of the teams that they're going to be facing up against with Santa Clara. But I'm telling you right now, I believe Arkansas, my prediction is, I think Arkansas wins this regional. I do. I even think they go 3-0 in this regional. I believe that. It's extremely difficult. It's going to be one that every game is going to have your booty puckered every single time because it's going to come down to the wire. I've never been to a more intense regional or baseball event than what it was last year in Stillwater. Like, I was there in person. Every single pitch, you were just on the edge of your seat. This one could be like that again. Only difference is that you at least are playing it at home and you get the home crowd involved. But Santa Clara is no slouch, Arizona's no slouch, and TCU's no slouch. So I think Arkansas is better than all these teams. I think that they have the pitching for it. Hunter Holland's going to get the start today against Santa Clara. And I think Arkansas takes care of business here in game one. And then the 8 p.m. first pitch tomorrow is going to be a late one, but it's still going to be a lot of fun to see how it all goes down. And I think Arkansas is going to be in good shape and they'll be able to take care of it. But it's not going to come easy. It's not going to be something that's just, just get through this and move on to the supers. It's going to be tough. And I think that as long as you get what we've got from Hagen Smith, and then throw in the combos of Will McIntyre and Zach Morris, and even a Brady Tiger, like, get those two lefties of yours, the starters, to bring their game, and then those other guys just to kind of can't come up and help out with the process, you'll be fine. I think the offense is going to be good enough. Now, it wasn't great at times. The SEC tournament, it's going to have to be better than what it has been, and I think it will be. I think being back home, I think being in the home crowd, and the way this team plays at home is going to be a huge difference maker. So can't wait to see how it all plays out. But we'll do a podcast tomorrow, too, to recap it and to dive into it. So it'll be like a special Saturday edition, if you will, podcast. But we'll dive into that later. But appreciate everybody listening into the Locked On Razorbacks podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe to the podcast on iTunes or on Google Play. You can also get after me on Twitter at BuzzJohnNeighbors for any questions, comments, concerns that you may have. We'll keep it going from there. Same podcast time, same podcast channel tomorrow afternoon. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you.